Alright, hi guys. So again, no intro, nothing for that. It's not important right now. I posted on Wednesday a video speaking about Black Lives Matter and everything else that's going on right now, and our political climate and our current climate and everything else, just kind of detailing everything, what I think about it, what maybe you should know. I also gave some resources. Hopefully some of you have seen those and are looking at that stuff. Now I wanted to take today as well to talk about the issue because I don't think it's important as much as I love music to be reviewing music right now and to be posting any content about reviewing music today with everything that's going on. So I wanted to continue the discussion and the conversation about the Black Lives Matter movement, everything that's happening right now, what's going on with our president, what's going on with all of it. So let's get into it. So I know I just mentioned we're going to talk about everything. I also just said our president, and quite honestly, I don't think that it's fair to even say that anymore because he hasn't been there to help with anything at all currently. He's not doing anything. He's not actually working to actively help and make change. And I've seen a lot of people throwing around names, and there are people from the right hating on Obama, and there are people from the left hating on Trump and blaming him for everything. And quite honestly, the people that we need to blame right now is our people that are in law enforcement. People are saying that it's only the corrupt cops that are to blame, and why are we saying anything about all the other policemen who didn't do anything wrong? They didn't do anything wrong. They didn't do anything wrong. It's not their fault. You're making a bad name of everybody instead of just focusing on the people that actually did the unjust acts. And what I say to that is, it is not just the people that actually committed the crimes and the murders and all the other horrible things. It's also the people that are innocent, that are sitting around, their partners, their other fellow policemen, that are not saying anything, that are not doing anything, they're not speaking up. If you don't feel that something that someone else is doing is right, and you think that there's something wrong with it, it is your job to say something. It is your job to try to actively push for change to be made. And if you're not doing that, you're just as bad as the people that are trying to go out and commit these acts, because you're not doing anything. You're sitting back and you're sitting down and saying, this doesn't matter. I don't care. They can do whatever they want. You're allowing it to happen without putting in your 2 cents. So by that, you're showing your support. Another reason why I wanted to make this video also is to update everybody. I know that a lot of people have seen headlines news that his case was actually heightened. So his sentence was moved from first-degree murder to second-degree murder. Now, while many may say, that's not enough, it's not. It really isn't. But it is a step in the right direction, and that is something that needs to be looked at. It is a step in the right direction for justice. His sentence was not lessened because he's white. His sentence was not lessened because he's a cop, but his sentence was heightened and made larger because of everything that's going on, because people are actually starting to hopefully realize and see what the point of this movement is. People of color are not starting a race war. They don't want to start a race war. They're trying to end one that's been around for a while. And to the people that are acting oblivious and want to say that this hasn't happened before, this is the first time, you're very wrong. This has been going on for a long time. I've seen posts from people at the riots, and one of the posters that stuck with me the most was an older white woman, and she was walking, and she said, "I'm 66 years old, and I'm still protesting this shit." That should say something to you. That should say something. She's not a person of color. She's a white person who is very aware of her privilege, who is out on the streets helping to protest for people of color, and she's acknowledging that all of this stuff is just being overlooked. She's acknowledging the fact that why is this still happening now? And I think that that's something very important and something that should stick with a lot of people. Because if you don't want to look at what the people of color have to say, then maybe look at somebody who's your own race and see that they also agree too, and maybe that should be a wake-up call. Also, I wanted to make it a point to say that I'm experiencing it currently, and I know that a lot of you will. You should not be afraid to speak up about what you have to say on Facebook, on any other social media platform, in public, because you're afraid of what your family will have to say. Because if your family is not going to accept you, at least for what you have to say, and respect that you have your own ideas and your own mindsets, that's a problem. If they're going to spend their time trying to tell you that they don't want to have anything to do with you because of the things that you're saying, then it's not important. Everybody is so quick to also say that family is through blood, but I think family, honestly, is through choice. You choose your family. Blood doesn't have to choose your family for you. If your family is not allowing you to be your most authentic self and who you are all the time, and they have something to say and they're quick to judge you always, that's not okay. That's not healthy. That's toxic, and that's not something to surround yourself by. Now, if you're able to talk in political discussion with your family and not let it affect things, and you're able to kind of be civil, I think that's great. I've had family reach out to me about the things that I've been posting on Facebook and my ideas and my views, and we go back and forth. We don't agree. But you know what? As much as it's really unfortunate that they're not able to see my side of things and they're not able to see the side of what's going on right now, they're still entitled to their own opinion whether or not we like it or not. Like, they're okay to have their own ideas and their own mindsets. And there's not one person that can tell them to think otherwise. Everyone is going to think what they need to think. We can hope that people are going to listen to us and hope that by raising our voices, people are going to hope to try to enact change. But we can't tell one person what to do. Just like we don't want them to tell us what to do, we can't do the same to them. We want to be able to live our own thoughts and our own ideas, and we don't want to be told how to live our lives. We can't do that to other people. All we can do is educate them and hope that they choose to make decisions for themselves. So, with that being said, if you have family members that are reaching out to you and that are being hateful or that are being a certain type of way or disagreeing with what you have to say or messaging you and saying, how about this, how about that, or the family that wants to comment on all your posts and say all lives matter, the most you can do is educate them. The most you can do, like I said, is talk to them and engage in discussion. And if it gets bad enough, don't feel like you have to keep being friends with them on Facebook. Don't feel that you have to keep them around on social media just because they're family. It's not healthy. You have to get to a point in your life where you only surround yourself by the people that make you the most happy and don't make you feel a certain type of way that's negative. Family is chosen, like I said, and they can still love you and you can still love them and you can still have that connection, but that does not mean that you have to be friends with them on social media, and that does not mean that you have to agree with what they're saying and engaging on social media. I wanted to continue to thank everybody that is still going out and taking part in peaceful protest and is being active and is speaking up and is fighting for what they believe in, because I think that that's so powerful and that's so strong. And if we keep this up and we continue to not let anyone silence us and not let anyone quiet us, I think that we can really make some positive change. I think just with this case alone, we're working on some things. So George Floyd, even though he was unjustly killed, is starting to get the justice that he does deserve. And I think that hopefully with this, we will also be able to find some justice for Breonna Taylor as well. Like I said, we cannot stop saying their names. We cannot let people forget about what happened, and we cannot be silent ever. We have to keep doing this. It's the only way that we're going to have change happen. It's the only way that we're going to have justice for them. And I think that's what's most important right now. I think it's also very beautiful. I mentioned in the past video how everybody's coming together and how we are all showing support for one another, and how a lot of businesses and even events that were supposed to happen, even though they were going to make so much money off of doing X, Y, and Z, they said, we're going to schedule this for another time. We don't want to take anything away from the Black Lives Matter movement. We don't want to take anything away from what's going on right now. That's what's most important. We need to work on fixing what's going on with each other before we can focus on enjoying ourselves and do another time. Because how can one be fully happy and enjoy themselves with everything else that's going on? There have been so many people that I've seen that are quick to just post about how happy they are. I have pictures that I've been wanting to post online that are awesome, and they're super great, and it was me having a good time this past weekend, but I don't feel comfortable posting about something and acting like I'm so happy when in all honesty all I can think about is the people that are out protesting and the lives that have been lost and everything else that's going on. So I don't, that's something I will never fully grasp. Lastly, I did want to mention the fact that people are hating on one another for being silent and for not saying anything, and I have been an advocate for raising your voice and being loud. you don't know everybody's story. You don't know what's going on in somebody's life. There are reasons why certain people can't speak, and it's not because they don't want to, it's because they physically can't. It's because they may be already helping with things in the background, and they don't want to have that exposed, and they don't want that to take away from the efforts and the work that they've been putting towards raising their voice in their own way. Everybody has their own way of showing support, and we need to let that happen because all forms of support are very important. So we can't take away from that, and we can't tell people that you're not doing enough or why are you being a certain way. Everybody that is being active in whatever way they can is exceptional, and it's very, very important because right now timing with everything is very crucial. So as always, thank you guys for sticking with this one. We should be back to some normal videos next week. I didn't feel comfortable posting anything other than this stuff this week because it's very important, and honestly, until this all ends, I don't know if we'll be seeing some regular content. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for allowing me to talk again. If you do decide to watch this and you have made it this far, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope that this sheds some more light. I will include the links from Wednesday's video at the bottom as well, and this one in the description, so you can check that one out. Please like and subscribe if you did enjoy this content and you do want to see more. Hopefully we don't have to constantly be talking about racism and horrible, horrible things happening like this, but we need to focus right now on our Black friends, and we need to care for them, and we need to raise our voices and be loud and never, ever, ever let anyone silence us, because that's accepting defeat. We can't accept defeat. We need to keep this going until we have a win and we have a victory for all of humanity at this point, because we cannot say that all lives matter until Black lives do. So thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you guys next week. Thanks.